what's going on. Okay. Sorry, I had to end the live stream before. Wanted to see if I could find this CBS clip. Oh, what the fuck? What? Oh, what? This is
to most of the world. The mission to arrest Maduro came as a shock, but officials.
This is it. Where is? Come on. I know I've seen this. Where? Oh my God, I can't find. Hey, what's up? What's up, Nathan? Turtle Piece. I'm trying to find this interview.
And it began, of course, with the latest from Venezuela, including big.
Hold on.
Chief Correspondent Matt.
Yeah, this is it.
Could net them decades in prison if convicted. In the meantime, they are being housed in one of the.
All right. I don't know what this dude's name is. Why don't they show people's names anymore on the goddamn screen? This is from CBS News. And I just wanted you to hear how slick CBS is with not, you know, their segments are very positioned to co-opt a narrative, also known as manufactured consent. And this dude plays a very important role for the corporate propaganda machine. He is there to tell eyewitness testimony of how horrific Maduro was. Not saying he wasn't, but last I checked, countries didn't get to just go invading others, you know, without some kind of false pretense, at least. Something, you know, just something. Not just, hey, they've nationalized oil, you know. Hey, those Epstein files really aren't getting any news right now. You know what I mean? Release the Epstein files. But CBS, NBC, Fox, ABC, they're not your friends. They're not your friends.
Most notorious lockups in the United States, along with other high-profile inmates like Luigi Mangione. After that dramatic middle-of-the-night capture in Caracas, Venezuela's former leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores arrived via jets, chopper, and finally motorcade in New York City. Handcuffed, wearing those slides, and flanked by drug enforcement officers Saturday, Maduro offered a cordial greeting to the agents' weapons possession charges. Maduro was first indicted by the Trump administration in 2020, and that indictment has now been updated with new charges and new defendants.
By the way, let me just say this. Get your Trump background up, or no one's gonna watch. Okay, thanks for the advice. Let's see. There we go. Is that better? You know how the charges are Maduro's working with narcos or whatever? You know that's not true. And if it is, he's got like a light association. You know what I mean? And I only say that because the goddamn cartel, if they're going to try to protect someone, don't you know you can't catch these people? Like, how many times did they try to catch little Gupta? What was his name? That little dude, little something? I don't remember. But remember, they kept trying to catch that one cartel dude, and they had like getaways and outlets. Like, if this dude was entrenched with the cartel, he would not have been caught so easy. That's all I'm saying. It would not have been this easy. You know, the cartel works with the CIA. He would have had the heads up. So
Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice.
There is no American justice. That's the other thing. These are just words, empty words with hollow actions, or what's the word? Like theatrical actions.
Stand trial
The 25-page indictment alleges Maduro and 5 others, including his wife, son, and other Venezuelan leaders, have for decades partnered with some of the most violent and prolific drug traffickers.
So has the U.S. The CIA has partnered with drug traffickers for longer than Maduro. God damn, man. What is going on right now? And this is why they won't give us health care, because they don't want us out in the streets feeling good on our feet. You know what I mean? They don't want you, they do not want you healthy enough, strong enough, fed enough, comfortable enough to say, this shit is wrong. And we're going to make some noise. Thank God we got the virtual world. They gave him up so they could get back to business. Listen, the fact that Maduro is still alive says everything. Yeah, who is that? 6 Ensom? I like your addition. CIA bad, so Maduro shouldn't be held accountable. No, I just don't think a country that is doing the same shit. We're doing nothing different than Maduro. Nothing. Donald Trump just pardoned a huge drug trafficker. We don't get to be the fucking police. If the bad guys are the police, who the fuck are the good guys? That's my point. My point is, if they're like, Maduro's working with drug traffickers, you know? And then you're like, well, pretty sure Donald Trump is too. You don't pardon a drug trafficker who, you know, made a hefty donation to you. And people don't say it's not working together. You know, who knows what kind of hell he's going to go release. Never mind all this shit. Did you hear what the Hindustan Times, I end up reading them more than anyone else. Goddamn Hindustan Times is on fire. The Colombian president, was it Colombia? Was it Colombia? I think it was Colombia, because I remember thinking, he's not very charismatic. Colombia needs a charismatic leader. If you know anything about Pablo Escobar, that man had charisma. But the Colombian president was saying a ring of PDF files invaded our neighbor, and they're doing it to distract from the Epstein release. The Colombian president hit hard today, or yesterday, or whenever. What's the name of the guy? Which one? The Honduras president? Hold on. I don't know his name off the top of my head. Juan Orlando Hernandez, convicted in the U.S. for trafficking. In a movie justified by claiming the prosecution was politically motivated by the Biden administration. That's all you got to do to be innocent now, apparently, is just say it was politically motivated. Never mind my actions. It's so weird. Trump's view. He was politically targeted. Oh, yeah. He was politically targeted. I wonder what they're going to say about Maduro. Oh, God. I can't deal with the trolls today. So hopefully, hopefully this is a good time to recommend a good book to people if you've never read The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein. You'll understand that we've done this many times before. Not necessarily always in such wide open ways, but the CIA has, cooed a lot of South American places, a lot of them that were implementing socialism to help the people, raise the people up. Not to mention that was Venezuela until, Chavez died and things got worse. But that national gas that helped Venezuelans at one time afford anything will now be designated to ExxonMobil and BP and Shell and Blackstone. I don't know. you know, all the big oil. What's up, Dusty? Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you guys feeling about this? How is everybody else feeling about this? It's depressing not being able to do anything. It's depressing here about the innocent lives that were lost. It's depressing to recognize what's going on and not feel like you're able to do anything besides speak out. All about the oil. Yeah. Was at the emergency protest yesterday in Chicago. That's putting boots on the ground and holding the public servants accountable. That's amazing. That's so rad. I feel nothing but apathy right now. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I marched and well screamed out. You have to. You know, we got to make noise. I wish I could. I'm trying to put one foot in front of the other right now. One foot in front of the other right now. Because it's devastating, you know, to think this orchestrated event is just horrific and is going to make a lot of things worse. I appreciate you, Dusty. I'm just trying to do a little self-care right now. I'm still here. I'm still keeping my commitment. And it's been tough. My kid's been sick. I'm trying to take care of them and the pets and myself. It's so hard to take care of anything when you're not at 100%. But that's good, Dusty. That, you know, that's the shit. That's what I love doing about this channel, is hearing people taking direct action, resisting, dissenting. That's so, it's so amazing, you know. You know, that's the thing. Some people say the people of Venezuela are so grateful. Some of them are, of course. You know, just like if somebody Maduro'd the U.S., you know, let's say some other military power Maduro'd the U.S. and said, you guys have, the CIA's been working with traffickers, your president's corrupt, he's threatening most of the world, and somebody Maduro'd him, right? There would be people that would, a lot of people celebrate, but there would be also people that would be mad, even though they were completely getting their lives ruined. So never mind about the both sides of it, you know, because that's the other thing I really see the press pushing. The press wants to keep pushing this, like, hey, look at how many people are happy. Look at the people out in the streets that are happy about this. And it's like, yeah, that doesn't matter, you know, because ultimately this is I just want you to think about that for a second. What if some other country said, America, you're a little tipsy right now. We gotta put you in check. How would you feel as an American? Irregardless you see, here's the thing, like I'm fucking, of course I'm anti-Trump. Dude's a gross, demonic fucking husk of a mixed sandwich. So no doubt I hate him. But if someone came in and Maduro'd him, as much as I'd be like, oh, thank God, what comes next? What do we just hope and pray? Like for Venezuela, the people that are happy, okay. You should take a look at the United States, Venezuela. If you think like what comes next is going to be good, the people in the U.S. are suffering. We have no guaranteed health care, no guaranteed time off. We have to earn our sick time. We're facing food bank lines with food banks going on shortages, 1 in 5 kids hungry. And you might say, oh, 1 in 5 kids is a step up from where we're at. But if you think you're going to get the USA treatment, oh, goddamn, Venezuelans, you're dead wrong. They're going to use and abuse you. They're going to suck that oil dry and leave you unregulated and let the cartels he was working with probably take over. We've seen this before. You don't have to look far. You can look through history. You know? We can't just go run other countries, especially. This is where I feel like the dad in me comes out. I feel like being like, America, you need to be able to take care of your goddamn self right now. You know that? You got people hungry on the streets. You got veterans homeless. You got mothers working so they can't raise their babies. America, you need to do some goddamn self-inspection, figure out what's going wrong, what is rotting you from the inside, and then you can start taking over other countries. You know, if we want to do this empire thing, we do it right. We're implementing universal health care. We're ensuring that nobody's homeless. You know, if we want to do the empire, let's be the empire that is the fucking, you know, like when Luke takes over. Because I'm assuming, I'm not like a big Star Wars guy, but I'm assuming at the end, Luke Skywalker defeats the Empire and he becomes the Empire, right? That's probably how it ended. I don't know. The sun never sets on the American Imperial Emperor. Yeah. Truth. Everyone in my house just got over the first bug. If the year a week ago, you got to rest to return to protect effectively. Yeah. I feel so bad for my kids right now, but my daughter's super, super sick. But yeah. And that's the other thing I'm reading about. Like, flu cases are the worst ever. It's just horrific. Sorry. I started reading the comments and it's hard to even think about this. Yes, thank you, Leanne. Hundreds of thousands dancing in the streets. Again, I hope I can just plant a seed in your mind. And then when they show you, when the profiteers off this war, off this invasion, the people who are going to profit, the multimedia corporations, big oil, when you see the people who have the most to make from what's happening, I want you to remember they're positioning this narrative very, very specifically. How many people have you seen out in the streets in Venezuela arming up, saying, you can't do this? I've seen those videos. I just wonder if you've seen them as much as I have, or if you've seen the videos I've seen where the Venezuelans are taken to the streets with weaponry, saying like, what the, we just got invaded. Innocent lives were lost. They were bombing civilians. And I want you to think about when the news is constantly, your whole feed, your whole algorithm is feeding you people celebrating in the streets. What do you think they're trying to tell you? What's the narrative that they're trying to sell you? That everybody's look at all these different videos of 15 people in frame celebrating. Look at this. Look. Chicago, Miami, fucking, Yeah, all the people that are refugees from Venezuela are going to celebrate. That's why they're refugees. And there's going to be people in the city. But again, I feel like a goddamn parent. Like, do you have no decorum? Do you have no fucking decency that you don't get to just pull this shit? That's the whole reason we had, the structure of America's not only failed, but it's gone. The illusion of this check and balance thing, because there were no check and balance. This is one tyrant doing what his masters are saying. That's why you called Putin before, to make sure Putin was in on it. I'm sure Netanyahu got a call. I don't even understand that question. The fedora. That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah. Imagine if Russia or China did this to us. Imagine that. Imagine if somebody, and that's a good example, because it wouldn't be like a democratic nation or a nation that believes in welfare. Because I even seen Germany was saying the U.S. has to answer for this. Like, they have to explain. That was the one article I was reading about the German chancellor or something. I forget who released the statement. And I thought, yeah, because, most of them democratic nations are like, there's steps. There's a procedure. You can't just go and fucking kidnap another country's president. You just can't do that. So I, again, insist people stop forming or shaping their opinions on what the news is really positioning to you, especially algorithmic news, especially news that you're not reading. especially news that might have interests in what's going on, especially news that wants to ensure you see all the people celebrating. Because if you just see people celebrating and you've made up your mind, well, this is good, I see happy people, that is the most basic level of thinking, okay? Because I want you to understand, nothing's getting better right now. They didn't leave Venezuela with a plan. Apparently, Trump's running it. Have you seen how he's running our country? He's not a good leader. He threw us into a recession. So I would say, Donald, really, before you start running two countries at once, which I don't think has a president ever fucking done that. Maybe Lincoln when he reformed the US for a brief moment, but not even. Like, this is fucking bananas. And there's people literally in the comments being like, well, I saw some happy people celebrate. You know what that means? Do what you want. Because here's the reality, or the way I look at this world, is those are how laws are made. A few fortunate people get together and go, this will benefit us, yippee. And then they have all the power and the wealth, so they get to fuck this tiny group that wants to celebrate something that might make millions of more suffer, have no regard for the others, but say this could benefit us. Ultimately, that's, how laws are written nowadays. But it doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's the best way. It doesn't mean it's moral. It doesn't mean it's internationally legal. Yeah, Rock. Trump can't run the U.S. What city were the dancing Venezuelans promised? Denver. I don't think they were promised anything. They were showing some of the Venezuelans in America celebrating. But that's not what's going on. And fucking immigration is perfectly fine in America. It's the fucking people who are hoarding all the wealth that are ruining this country. If you think like, oh, they got the only fucking immigrants that got promised anything were Cuban dissidents. You understand that? Go look that up. I want you to do a little fucking learning today. Go look up what happens when Cuba's descent from Cuba. The American empire was so ready to have them denounce socialism, even though Cuba, with all the embargoes, all the fucking stalling of any kind of imports, exports, basically the American empire putting them in a fucking iron dome themselves to keep everybody out, they're still number one with doctors, healthcare. They have a cancer vaccine. Like, it's a miracle what the Cubans are doing. But the people that defected, if they come to America, they get a green card right away. I think 1 year citizenship. Like, it's weird at what the Cubans get. And then the Cubans all voted for Trump, and he played them like a fucking fiddle. And now, we're here. So please focus on who the fucking real enemy is, man. It's not the poor people coming here to say, I want to work hard and have a better life. That's what immigrants do. They want to come somewhere to have a better life, like your immigrant ancestors, like mine. That's not the problem. The problem is there's a lot of wealth in this country, and because it's all in finance, it's 99 fucking % of this country, they hoard it all. And then they threaten us with robots taking over, so you better keep that shitty job if you want that healthcare. Meanwhile, they own all the media, so they position it like, oh, they were guaranteed a city. Go fuck yourself. Real American, this is the problem. That's not the problem. Let's guarantee him a city. Let's guarantee him healthcare. We could do that for everybody in this nation. There's 25 empty homes for every homeless person. We have enough food. The corporations throw it away in the dumpster and pour bleach on it. We can do these things. Stop focusing on the people who want to make this shit better. God damn, I just can't deal with the people that say dumb shit. 1 year, 1 day, Cubans used to get their green card. That's what it is, 1 year, 1 day. Yeah, I don't know what that dude was about, but I'm not in territory to deal with that or confront. You know, if he wants to go do his own live stream, go ahead, man. Go ahead. YouTube's still free until the Ellisons take it over, you know? Go ahead. Go do your thing. All right, guys. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate you being with me. I'm struggling right now, so I'm just trying to put one foot in front of the other. I'm here every weekday. I'm trying to put one foot in front of the other. I'm going through real difficult times, so hopefully you're doing well wherever you are. Dusty, good to see you. All right, much love, much respect, Gmon. Good to see you. Peace.